YouTube, everyone, welcome back to the channel for some more coaching. Today we have another Gold 3 Platinum player, and we're on the new map Vista Hardpoint. It's gonna be an interesting one. So you ready, Nectar? Let's get right into it and let's break down your gameplay. So starting off, we're gonna go through here. You're watching middle of the break. I actually don't mind this play. So you said this map gets quite chaotic, is that right for you?
Yeah, especially because I'm running an AR.
Yeah. So what we're going to try to do, I think the biggest thing we're going to try to do is just see how you can slow down the game and match it to your pacing. So off the break, I think I personally don't mind the route you take, but as an AR, I actually have a better route that I personally prefer. I think off the break, what I personally like to do on this side is I like to go here with an AR, and I can actually basically watch this whole P5 area. So I can essentially watch this whole area there. I normally have, normally a teammate kind of defaults through middle, and I feel like that's just a really good opening break because you've got that all covered, and then the next two players can kind of play in the hill. So I think the first thing is don't be stubborn in terms of, oh, I go middle, I'm only going middle. I think a really big thing to do is look at the minimap and identify what's missing, right? So right now, with me going through, if I was you right now, I don't mind this play, but you just got to be cautious because that's actually a question I have for you. So when you're playing, do you have like a set plan in your head, or are you quite open to adapting based on the minimap?
For the older maps, I do. I have like my normal like 2, maybe 3 routes.
Yeah.
This one you'll see mid a lot, and it's probably I shouldn't be doing it, and I just keep doing it. So
that's one thing we need to talk about is about comfortability. You said this before about the older maps as well. If you're going to grow as a player, you have to be used to like new stuff, right? You have to be okay with being uncomfortable on the map, and I think a big part of it comes to understanding it. So like my point is basically, let's say you're number 4 right now, okay? And you're like, you know what, I always go through middle. I just find it very useful. I'll be like, okay, I agree that somebody should be middle. But as a team, your team would benefit more if you right now went towards here and held this P5. You see what I mean? So just scenarios like this, I want you to be a bit more open-minded. Look at the mini map and just see what's open. Because instead of having 2 of you middle because you prefer middle, then the problem is this whole left side is open and they can basically push through. And it just makes your job harder once your teammate's on the hill. Because let's say you go through, let's play this out. Let's say your teammate dies now and they have 3 people on the hill. You now have to break it through middle by yourself. So it just makes it harder for you, okay? So I'm not saying this is the case right now, but I'm just saying that when you're playing, be a little bit cautious that if your teammates are going a certain way, don't do the same thing, okay?
Okay.
Let's go through. What's happening? So yeah, you go through middle, you start off with a stun. Let me back off. So you start off with a stun. I like this play from you going through. They're already on A. Great play. So really good centering out of you, really good shots off. Overall, good start. Your teammate ends up dying on the point. There's one on your left there. Honestly, that's not a bad play at all. You get 2, great play. There's somebody on your right here. So you now know the last player is on your right. So if we look at this scenario, that's actually 3 people down, okay? So if we look at this scenario with 3 people down, you now know where the last person is. You should right now kind of be pushing this player. As soon as you reload, you should slide in. The best case scenario is you kill this player before he shoots you. Worst case scenario, you slide past him and your teammate kills him and you get some shots off. Like either way, you're in a good position. And there's only 1 player left. Let's get the mini map. There's basically 1 player left behind there. If you can kill this guy as quick as possible with the help of your teammates, you basically have a fresh 4 down and you can play for the spawners. So let's see what you do here. So you're taking your time. You're taking your time. I don't mind that. Again, maybe could be a little bit cleaner, just get a bit faster. But overall, I'm very happy with the way you played. It's a really good start there, okay? That's 3 down, perfect start. Now what you want to do is you want to play for the cuts here. You want to play for the spawners. So you're going to go through. Again, I don't mind this. That's where it gets a little bit, a little bit mixy. So I think up to this point, you're playing really good Call of Duty. I think right now, okay, you clearly know they're coming through this side, but based on where you're playing, right? So if they're coming through this side, okay, they're probably going to be sprinting up to this point. When they get to around here, they're going to stop sprinting and they're going to start to pre-aim a bit more. Are you happy with that logic?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So in that scenario, if you're in this position here, you need to get your timings to a point where, first of all, if you're going to rush them like you wanted to do, you're going to have to kill this guy a little bit quicker. So when you're reloading now, you got to kill him. As soon as you kill him, you're like, right, I got to push these guys now if you want to cut them off. But you taking this time here to reload, throw your trophy, I'm okay with. But if you're going to push them like this, you're going to see the timing just not going to be in your side. So as he's sliding in right now, you're then trying to slide out. The problem is you have an AR right now. You really don't need to play like this. You could easily go prone here and hold this angle. Another thing is very, very important. If you're going to push this angle, okay, the way you're playing, correct me if I'm wrong, but you know somebody's going to be around this corner. You're kind of, you're expecting a gunfight, right? Or no?
Yeah, I just don't know the timing at this point.
That's fine. That's perfect. The way you want to play this, if you don't know the timing, is at least give yourself a higher chance to win it. So this is where the crack aim is really useful. So this is where, as you're going around this corner, if you're going to push this, I don't think you have to, but if you're going to push this, you should be aiming in right now. You should be constantly aiming in, constantly doing the crack aim, okay? When you're doing the crack aim, so constantly pressing your L2, L1 in and out, you'll be aiming in, aiming in, aiming in. So when you see him, you can then drop shot or whatever you want to do. The point is, you're sprinting right now. Look where you're sprinting. You're sprinting over there. Based on their spawn, that's never going to work out for you. You see? Because you're sprinting right there, and they're all pushing this area. So look, you're sprinting, you're sliding, and to be honest, your teammate kills him, but he probably should have killed you. He hits you twice, and you get naded. So you just got to be very careful the way you're challenging gunfights, okay? I think the start was really good from you. Right there, a little bit mixy. So you're going through, not the end of the world, but go for it.
Since I was like, I delayed, you know, I was delayed the process.
Yeah.
And I'm already kind of in a bad situation. Well, you're suggesting me just
you're not in a bad situation.
Lay there.
You're not in a bad situation.
Lay there and don't move.
So you're not in a bad situation. You're in a good situation. But for some reason, you think you have to push this area. You don't need to push this area fully. Like right now, like you don't need to be spawn trapping them there because you've got them in a trap already. So like right now, I don't mind you pushing out. I think it's just the way you pushed out, basically. Even if you were 2 seconds earlier, like even if you were, say you were already there, I would have said the same thing. It's just the way you approach this gunfight. You should expect them to be here. So it's just the way you approach the gunfight. I think instead of running here, you needed to be aimed in, basically. You need to be aimed in and a bit more agile. It's kind of like you did this earlier, actually. Let me show you.
Yeah.
Look at this right here, right? Look at this. You see how you pushed him and you kind of run with the pistol as you're jumping and you're moving like that? If you had a little bit better centering there, that would have been a perfect kill. If you just did that at a later, like at the push after, that would have been perfect. So you want to push them the way you did, but just with your AR right now. So right now you want to push them with your AR, go prone right now, but like you're doing, but just aim in right now. That's all. The only difference is just aiming in as you're moving. Just get closer while aiming in because you're running right now. Whose gun is up, yours or his?
His, yeah.
So even if your teammate wasn't there, right, he would have won this gunfight unless you world start him. And that's the point. Look at this gunfight. Forget everything else. You're sliding. He already shot you. He should have killed you, but, you know, there was other people involved. And that's the point. We just got to work on that little bit there. Overall, it's fine, though. And I don't think it's a bad thing that we went for. I think that's fine what you did. It was a good push from you. Honestly, you're playing a lot better than I expected, but just at the start, it was a really good start from you. But now let's kind of go through. So what we're going with, so we're working towards the next hill here. You're staying up to the right, great use of equipment. So you're stunning and nading the right, you're watching the middle. So far, everything you're doing in terms of fundamentals, really good stuff there. Let's see what you're doing now. Going through. And I'm okay with this. You know, you're watching over, you're trying to watch that area. Yeah, I was gonna say maybe be a little bit more agile in terms of checking middle and checking the left. Like look what you did at the start. You see, you check the middle and then you check the left, right? You can do that throughout the hill. Like you don't have to just watch one way. So you can like aim in, aim out, and look like what you're doing now, but right now just watching the middle as well. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because I feel like whenever I was overcommit, I always get shot. So I think
of course there's a balance, okay? Of course there's a balance, and I understand that. I think it's just, but the more you do it, the more you're going to understand, okay, timings, angles, how the best way to do it, the fastest way to do it, and stuff like that. So don't be afraid to do it, as long as you're understanding it, why you're doing it and when to do it. For example, right now, because nobody in your team is middle, I think it's good to watch both. You still have your grenade, so like you did with your stun, maybe chuck your grenade, but just for right now while no one's holding middle, I think it's good to check it as well. But overall, again, I'm being very fussy. I don't mind this. And it's going to have times like this where you get the timing. Like, look at this timing. If you waited, he's right there. So you shoot him and then you reposition. So again, it's not bad. It's not terrible from you. I think one thing I will say is your mechanics are actually better than your shot. Most of the time, people's mechanics are worse than their shot. So do you shoot bots or not really?
I mean, I don't do it that often just because I kind of get bored of it.
you should shoot bots. Even like 5-10 minutes before the game, it will help your shot because your mechanics are really good. I'm actually impressed with your mechanics a lot, but your shot's not as good as your mechanics. Your shot's lagging behind your mechanics, and that's very rare. I barely see that in my coaching series. Most of the time, people's mechanics can't keep up with their shot, but your shot can't keep up with your mechanics. So I think you don't have to shoot bots, but I think you're bottlenecking yourself with the practice there.
I think it's the old and wise. My shot's not as good as it used to be.
That's good, bro. I mean, again, the more you practice, man, you'll be better, man. You'll be chilling. So right now, same thing. I don't mind the play from you. I think, like I said, if you shot those bots here, you would be a little bit more confident in taking this kind of gunfight. But overall, I don't mind this. It's not a terrible play. You chuck a nade, you overcommit a little bit. He ends up pushing you. It's not the end of the world. You know, you're getting outnumbered there. I guess, yeah, that's fine. You're going through. You're actually on a pinch here. So right now, you have the luxury of pinching, which you're actually doing a perfect job. I actually like this play from you. You're going up top. You see one, you see two. For some reason, they didn't spot you. Now, this is where the game sense starts to develop, okay? So this is a new map. You've actually spawned in this side here. This is a really strange spawn. Off the break, I noticed it. Do you agree with this? You shouldn't spawn here with your team on the other side. This is one of those spawns that the game is like it's a strange spawn. I agree with you. Lucky, strange, whatever the way you want to put it, the game shouldn't have spawned you there, right? I expected you to pinch them, and then what I see, they're spawning on your left. I would note this down mentally as, okay, so on this map, on this hill, there are those fluke spawns. There's a chance, if I'm spawning back there, I need to watch my right. And this is how you can pick up more game awareness. Because stuff like this is going to happen then. If you spawn there, there's a chance that the red player spawns there. So when you're playing next time, if you're in this scenario, I want you to be like, okay, hang on, I spawned here. Let me just watch it for a second. And that's how you're going to be able to read the minimap more, read the map pressure more, and just understand the game more, okay? So every time you die, like, play the game and spawn and think, okay, so this is a spawn point. Okay, I probably shouldn't have spawned here. Oh, so when I spawn here, so next time you now know, when you spawn here, what's the first thing you're going to do? You're going to get your AR out and watch your left here. You see? You'll be more prepared next time. You see where I'm coming from?
Yeah, and I think that happens a lot too in this map because people are trying to flank so much.
Yeah.
And you'll notice later on, it's going to catch me in the butt. I'm not going to get the advantage.
But right now, there's really good trigger discipline from you. I really like the trigger discipline. One thing I will say is I want to see a little bit more sliding, because when you're sliding and slide cancelling, it just makes your centering easier to track. So really good trigger discipline. The player at the back, they should have seen you. I'm not going to lie to you. The player at the front should have seen you. But right now, I probably would have preferred you a really simple thing, just slide here. If you just slid down, as you're sliding, you shot him, what you would have done is you would have got closer, right? You would have got closer and closer to the point where when you killed him, this player would have been easy to kill. So it's about setting yourself up. So again, really small detail, but right now, just slide cancel, you probably get a two-piece there. You're going through. I don't hate the stun, but I could see, I knew it wouldn't work just with timing there. Again, maybe just go for the drop shot, not the end of the world, but same thing, you're spawning here. So now, we've learned. Obviously, in the game, you might not, but where do you expect them to be? Maybe on your left? Let's see if you play it like that. So you see, you did end up watching the left. You go through, there's one. Good play. They're now going to spawn on the other side. So now you're going through, you take out the first player, okay? You are now basically protecting your teammate. So what you want to do in this scenario, okay, is you've got a teammate right there. You've got a teammate over there, and you're watching over him. Your job right now is to distract and stop the blue players from killing your teammate. Your job is simple. You cannot die. You are providing all the fire cover. If anybody from the blue team decides to push through and slide across, you should be there supporting your teammate. Happy with that? Happy with that role?
Yeah.
Yeah? So let's see how you play this, because if you die right now, you're going to leave your team in a 1v4, and that's where some players kind of make the error. So right now, this is good for you. You spot the other player. I think right now, this is where your centering is like, okay, you should just kind of focus on working on your centering here, getting it up here, which is exactly what you do. Good play there. The only problem is you kind of, because you jumped off there, you left your teammate and he got exposed. But the thing is, you were 2v4, so I don't mind that play. It wasn't a bad play from you. It was just a lot to handle at once. There was 4 of them there. So you go through. I don't think you needed to drop shot there because you had the advantage. And now you're kind of getting outnumbered. Let's see what happens. You're probably going to die here. Yeah, just a lot of them there. Overall, it's not bad so far. There are a few trades going their way, but you can just see that the only reason they're getting the point, to be honest with you, is because the kills you're getting. The P1 you guys should have got more on because you got 4 down. But remember when you died, that kind of pushed them out. The P2 was a strange one because I think you guys were in a good position. It's just when you gave up middle and watched the right, they kind of just flooded it. So right now I'm looking at it and I'm saying, you know, you haven't played bad, to be honest, but we need to see what we could do on the next hill. So right now your teammates are going through, and it's little decisions like this that make all the difference. So right now, if you go right, you can basically cut the opponent's kind of map in half, okay? So I'm just curious, why do you think you went left here? What was your kind of reasoning?
I don't know now that you say it. I absolutely should have went to the right. Yeah, just cut him off from bar.
So I don't actually mind you. Yeah, I don't mind you going left here. The problem is you're more likely to get into an engagement where you're going to die. And if you spawn back here, that's kind of far from P3. So now that you're going towards P3 and your teammates are kind of going towards the P3 as well, you're in one of those scenarios where you're spawning far from P3. You're spawning over there. You don't need to fight them right now. What you actually want to do is say, you know what, I'm going to push through this area and I'm just going to like cut them through middle, but from P1. Just get closer to securing that back spawn for P3. Because what you're trying to do is just set up for the new hill. The problem I see is when you're going this way, is you're just testing your luck now, because you got to remember, they're currently spawning here, okay? If they were rotating effectively, if they were an effective team right now, they would send people through the back and the fight would go like this. And then what's going to end up happening is, as you're pushing through this way, they might catch you off guard. And if they kill you, you're going to spawn all the way back there again. That's not what you want. So you kind of want to guarantee the rotation and just play a little bit safer to get those spawns. Once you have those spawns, yeah, sure, push some lanes out. But right now you get that kill. So that tree king, so just one second, that tree king that you kill, exactly what I was going to say. Perfect. So right now you kill tree king. Tree king's over here. This is the point though. This tree king player is actually pushed out kind of far. If I was his team, I wouldn't be happy where he is, because if you go through there, and let's just say your teammates get some kills here, right? What's going to happen is these guys are going to spawn out. But you going this way is kind of preventing that a little bit. Because if you kill Tree King like you did, now he's going to spawn back there. So it's like, if someone's making a mistake, let them have that mistake. You know what I mean? Now, right now your teammate dies. I don't mind you getting this kill, but I think you should instantly go right and cut them through the middle. Let's kind of play it out though. You're going through, you're weak now, and look where your teammate spawned, by the way, right behind you. So you guys still have that spawn. And now look what's happening. Now you guys are in a 2 versus, we don't even know how many people are there. Let's just assume it's 1, because you killed the other one. Do you think that's safe to say that there's 1 here?
Yeah.
So now you're waiting for 1 player over there, and you have 2 people here. But what does that mean? It means that there's potentially 3 of them pinching the hill. And you're nowhere. You're literally waiting for the guy on hold. So let's play this out. Let's play this out. Even worse, you're backing away. So the spawns are all over the place right now. You're backing away. For some reason, that guy that you just killed actually spawned all the way out. Somehow it worked out. And now you actually wanted to kill him again to spawn him out. But he kills you. And now you might spawn in the new hill. Let's see what happened there. So this is just a weird spawn from the game. Again, the spawns are not good right now. Look where you're spawned in, same spot. But the principle is the same thing. You two are kind of fighting these two. You're leaving your teammates in a 2v2. It's been about 20 seconds and you haven't even gone to the new hill, and you're just constantly fighting at the old hill. And those are the things we got to avoid, because right now you're basically leaving your teammates to do everything on the new hill. And now they've died, right? There's how many people are there? There's 3 people. Tree King is the guy you killed all the way over there about 20 seconds ago. So you could just see that little decisions like that is what's changing the game for you, okay? I think sometimes just prioritize a rotation as an AR, cut those lanes, but think about the spawns. Where's the best place to spawn? Where's the best place to set up? Because now you're down 40 and you have to break this hill. And breaking this hill is just not going to be easy. You're going through. You're by yourself. Your teammates get 2. So now there's going to be someone on your stairs. If we look at the minimap, someone's going to be on these stairs. So we've got to be ready for this gunfight. So at least you're ready, which is good. You're going to go through. Let's see how you play this. Again, look at the minimap. So right now we know the back stairs is empty. So I think your teammates got fortunate breaking that. I think they break it pretty well. But yeah, I think that's one of those where maybe against a better team, they don't hold it as easy. So they hold it a little bit easier, right? So we've got to make sure we're not relying on the breaking the hill. Right now, same thing. If we look at the minimap, what's the only thing empty? For me, it's these back stairs. So I think you've got to be a bit more cautious of the stairs. I will say this is a little bit unlucky. He's right there, but just making sure you're cautious of the stairs there, okay? Because you see he's right there. And that is something that we've kind of pointed as a danger zone. Now, it looks like you were cautious of the stairs. You were just watching over it, which I think is very unlucky. But just making sure that you're aware, oh, he could be on the stairs there, which is exactly what ended up happening. So what ended up happening was kind of worst case scenario. And that's just what happened there. He goes through, he gets 1. Any feedback for yourself, like halfway through? Not halfway through, but quarter through. Like, do you think everything's making sense?
The fact that I should have hit that right side first.
Yeah, I agree.
Rather than 30 seconds later. Definitely.
I agree. But nothing major, right? I think overall it's okay. Things like this, I think, again, we can work on just the way you're pushing these hills. I think against better players, it's just very risky. Like, I actually don't mind right now. It's just, I think the routes you're taking could be better. Like, right now, against a good team, I think against a good team, all right, on P5, they're going to have, like, good setups. I think they're going to have, where are we? On P4, sorry. I think on P4, where are we? They're going to have people at the back with ARs. They're going to have somebody in the room. They're going to have somebody on the hill. Like, they're going to have better setups than what happened. And you kind of just jumped out into the open and went for the gunfight, right? And I think against better teams, you're going to get punished like that. So I think right now, I would have preferred you going through the outskirts and just trying to, like, play through the outskirts. Because what happens is when you're standing here, you don't have to worry about behind you. You only have to worry about in front of you. But when you're going through there, you have to worry about everywhere. So it's just about, again, just the angles you're taking, the routes you're taking. Because let's play this out. Your teammates are spawning out. They have control of the new hill. Do you think that's fair to say? That they have control of the new hill?
Yeah, because, I mean, we haven't killed anybody, right?
But the way you're playing it is like you got control, because look what you push through. You push it through a dangerous zone. They should be pre-aiming. This is the point. Against better players, they will have somebody pre-aiming that back alley. Because you have the hill, you have P3. They will have someone watching that. So you won't be able to just run out for free. But look how you play this. You slide out, and you're like, oh, cool, I'm just going to jump out. I think they've really, like, played that bad there. But that doesn't mean you played it great. Good shots from you. But again, you just got to be careful the way you approach it. They're at the back again. Let's see what you do here. Just a little bit of mini-map awareness. You saw him in the window before. Again, not the end of the world, but just making sure our centering's on point there. Good reaction to get away with that. Your teammates there. I don't mind that. It was good distraction from you, actually, to be honest. It was good distraction once you got weak. Now you're going to cut the lanes. You're going to go through middle. You want to cut your right here. So at this point, okay, this is really important. So cutting lanes is like my favorite thing to do. You're doing a good job of cutting lanes here. So right now you're doing a good job. What you're trying to do, you're trying to catch a timing. So your goal right now is to push this area, and you're trying to catch them either in the sprint or in the slide, basically going past you or something like that, right? But you have to think about the mini map and just generally where people are. So right now, if you don't see anyone here and you're going inside, you have to assume, based on you haven't seen anyone through the last 5 seconds over there, right? That tells me they're all going through this side.
Yep.
Right? You see where I'm coming from there? Like, I actually like the way you read the map there, but you misread it a little bit. You assume they were coming through here. I assume the same thing, but you can see no one's here right now. Logically, they've spawned up. They've used a cruise. They're probably crossed already. So if they're not over there, that means they're already there. So you should instantly be going to pinch them. But look what you're doing. You're taking your time. I know there's a cruise there, but it's just right now, like, the way you're reading it, I think you read it a little bit wrong there. And you can see they're actually already there. Okay? So it's about, again, just reading that pressure. Good shots. There's a few people there. There's a guy on your left, guy close left there. Let's see how you play this. And now they're probably going to come through the middle. There you go. So you can see exactly like that. So as soon as you go through now, I mean, I didn't even know someone was there, but once you go through now, there's 3 down. This is, again, you got to just, this is your timing issue. You now, you know, where you thought they were coming from 10 seconds ago, they're probably coming through there now. So right now, when you're sitting here, now you can watch middle. Because think about where your teammates are. You have 3 teammates watching this right-hand side. You're the blue team right now. You have 3 teammates watching this right-hand side. You need to look at the minimap and identify the missing lane. And that's kind of what I spoke about at the beginning of the video. Don't just run for the sake of running, but look at the minimap. Right now, your teammates don't need help on the right. You see where I'm coming from on the right? They don't need help there. But what they do need is somebody to just sit in middle and be a sentry gun. And that's where you come into action. If you just held this angle and got that kill, that would have been an amazing kill, because you would have shut him down. You now would have put pressure on them. But instead, look, you're running, you're trying to cut the lanes, you're trying to flank them, you're going through, and now this guy kills you, right? And now it's like, oh, he might not kill you, but let's see. Did he kill you? This is a good example of you world starring him. That's not a reliable gunfight. You probably should have died there, which is important to note, because that means, okay, I played that wrong, although I got the kill. And I think that's really good self-analysis to think, okay, even though I got the kill, I played that wrong. And that's how you can improve as a player. The same thing. You see that? I think that's just, that 25 would have been so much cleaner if you just stayed the whole time. If you just stayed, where was it? Right here. Right there.
Right here. Yeah.
If you don't move, like you said to me, the game gets chaotic. I want to slow it down. This is an example. Slow the game down. Cut this middle lane. Let the game come to you. They have to push you right now. You have all the angles. Now, if you kill this player and your teammate dies, then look at the left. No one's there. Okay, let me go to the right. But the fact that your first thing was to flank is what we got to work on. Right now, this is a good play. You actually would have just held this for a second. You would have got that kill. Okay? Not an issue, but 5, 6 of those a game, they're going to creep up, and that's what's going to cause problems, okay? So that's part 1. Let's go through to part 2.
Now, another thing, too, you mentioned there was 3 down at some point there. You don't have to go back to it. But I have an issue with that. When I looked on the screen, it actually said 2 down. So, like, I'm missing the one before that. You know, when I look
you're just judging the kill feed
down. Is there 2 or 3?
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. So yeah, you're judging the kill feed on the static image of the bottom left, right? Well, you got to judge it as a flow. You got to judge it as a flow. So Tough Love's dead now. Okay, cool. Let's play out for a second. So Tough Love spawned up now. So right now I know no one else has died. They're probably pushing together. So it's just about reading the minimap and just kind of, the more you play, you're gonna start to develop a kind of feeling of like the pressure. It's gonna be tied with the minimap and the kill feed. So right now you're going through. See what happens. But that's a good point. I'll try to pick it up for you. If there's like another 3 down, and we can kind of go through that together. Same thing here, right? Your teammates are on the left here. Your teammates are on the hill. Okay, what's empty right now? Well, middle's empty. But what you're doing, the problem I'm seeing, you're constantly doing what you want as if your teammates aren't there. It's like, okay, I like this spot, I'm going to go there. What do you think about that?
Yeah, 100%. I need to just slow down. I don't know what's going. I feel like this is chaotic.
It is chaotic, but I think you're making it very chaotic. Like right now, you have 3 people. You have 3 people around the hill. Same thing we spoke about. Close an angle. Right now, okay, I'm standing right there. I can either go through and watch middle for a second, or I can even go through here and watch over them. I think right now, just even going through and just holding this angle for a second, like just chill for a second, and you don't know where they're coming from right now because there's been no action on the kill feed. So let's just have a sense for their push. I can't guarantee you they're coming through here because I haven't seen a kill feed for about 20 seconds. So they could very well be going all 4 this way. You know what I mean? I don't know because there's no action. So we have to predict, okay, what if they do come through here? Let's just hold it and get some intel. So right now, like, just watch your right because your teammates have this whole cross. You look at your teammates. Your teammates have this angle. I would rather you watch this angle here, and that'll be so useful. Instead, you're like, you know what? I'm going to watch what I want to watch. You're going to go right there, watch exactly what they're watching, and leave the whole middle. Look at this. Let's play it out. Your teammate's right there, okay? Right there, watching middle. And look what you're doing. You're going to do the exact same thing he is, and you've just completely given up middle where you could have got a kill. You see where I'm coming from with this kind of scenario?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. You sound sad, man. It's all good. This is good. We're learning. You're like, yeah, I get it. No, I get it. I get this shit. Yeah, no, but that's fine. Now, right now, again, AR, watch over your teammates. How can I be like a sentry gun? Okay, let's watch over them. Let's get a closer angle, chuck our equipment a bit more. We don't need to jump down right now because now, you know, we're losing our position. Let's just close the angle. I've got an AR. Okay, let's go through top. Let's just close the angle through top. And instead of just jumping down and making it mixy, you're panicking right now. You're like, oh shit, I can't see him in the hill. Let me jump down. And then you lose the pressure again. Same thing, exact same thing. Obviously your team needed you, not ideal, but it's the same thing though. We just got to make sure we're working on angles. Your gun skill's good. I want you to rely on your gun skill more. Don't just rely on running at them. Of course, you're back to your famous spot. You love that spot.
All right. I guess so.
15 seconds left. They've got P5. Okay, we're going back to P1. Let's set up right now. Let's see what we're doing here. Exact same problem as earlier. Off the break. There is no reason right now to turn around. You have a perfect opportunity. Perfect to go through and sit right here. And just let them, like, okay, let me really go into this bit because you have such a good opportunity right now to just get yourself some map pressure. P5's right there. P1's right there. Why they're next to each other, I have no clue. But they have about 3 people on P5. So all the pressure is coming through the left side of the map. Okay? What you're doing right now is you got to predict. They're going to probably push through there. Maybe one jumps off, but to be honest, they're just going to flood through that area. You need to right now sit with an assault rifle and just watch that bridge and try your best to put some damage down. Make their job a little bit harder. Okay? Your teammates are going through middle. Your teammates are actually going through middle, so they're going to cut through middle. Your only job right now is to stop the guy's bridge from getting an easy cross. Once they cross, your teammates will deal with them, but you need to make them weak to make it easier for your teammates. As soon as you spawn up and you go towards here, that's your first, that should be your first goal. You should think, right, 10 seconds left, I need to go there, that's missing, I need to watch that, okay? But instead, with you turning around, it's completely changed the dynamic of the setup. You've now escaped that area. You're going towards middle. You've completely given up this side of the map. You have no intel now. They could push through. They could go through. They could send 2 across. They could send 1 through there. And they could now pinch you. They could just easily do this. If they wanted to, they could easily pinch you like this. And now it's like, it's actually easier for them to get in. Right? So it's about looking at the minimap again. Identifying the gaps. The gap, I think, is a missed opportunity there. Let's see what you do here. You see you're going through, there's no intel. Exactly what we spoke about. Now look what you're watching. You're now watching this. You're now watching this. So you're now watching a potential flank when I think you could have stopped them from even getting to this area. You could have stopped them on the source. Right?
100%.
Yeah? It's just about the same, you're doing the same thing, but from a different angle. Now look, they've got the hill. They've got all of the angles. Because why? Because there was no pressure from the left. So now they controlled the whole hill from P5. They just simply, from P5, they just walked on in. That's it. They walked on in. There's no map pressure there. So now what's happened? The map was supposed to look like this. The map was supposed to look like this. The red team was supposed to be here. Blue team was on this side. But instead what's happened is they flipped the map like this. Now the red team's here. Blue team's there. And that's not what we want. Now they get 3 down.
Yeah, they almost have 3/4 of the map.
Exactly.
Really.
Exactly. They basically have everything. Now you're spawning exactly where you wanted to be 20 seconds ago. You're going through. One goes down. But does that make sense what we just went through? I think that's a really important point to kind of cover there.
Definitely. Yeah.
This is good. This is a really good pinch from you. This is what I want to see more of. I guarantee you get a kill or 2 here. So you can see just the way you. I mean, the shot's a little bit iffy. That's fine. But the way you approach that, I knew you were guaranteed the kill. Now, just on a side note, right now, you want to use your right stick for centering. So right now, right stick for centering. When you see this player, you just want to strafe. You want to barely move your right stick. You're going to move your right stick a little bit. When you're moving your right stick like this, left, right, going crazy, your aim assist isn't activated, and it makes it very hard for you. Although it looks like you got world starred, you just didn't use your aim assist properly there. Okay? Want to use that left stick a bit more. Now you're going through. 20 seconds left. Let's go to the new hill. Same thing as last time. There's no middle map pressure. So right now I'll be worried about middle map because no one's there. I don't mind you pushing up a little bit here and getting mixy. So this is, I actually don't mind you pushing up a little bit here because you've got no map pressure. Just pushing up slightly just puts the pressure on them. So I actually like this from you. I don't mind this at all. I don't mind this at all. You're going to back off. There's going to be a guy middle. Let's see what you do here. Again, we definitely got to see that shot. So that, what I said, look at that. Okay, I want you to just look at the last 20 seconds for me. You went from winning every shot to turning around, jumping and frying this guy. The inconsistency is crazy. That's why I think you should shoot bots, because your mechanics are so much better than your shot. Your shots needs a lot of like, consistency, but your mechanics are really clean, man. I think you could easily be diamond if we just clean that shot a little bit, which the reason I'm saying is because I think it's a really good thing, because, bro, how did you go from missing every shot to this? It's like watching 2 different players, so we need to go get that consistency up, okay? Because your ceiling is really high, man, honestly. Your ceiling is really high, which is good. I love to see this. You're going through, great play, you're using your cover. This is good. You go through a different angle. I like this. Your teammate's there. A little bit mixy here, maybe just, again, I want you to notice when you're losing the gunfights. It's when you're using your right stick. Look at this, you're using your right stick, you're going crazy.
Yeah, there's no aim assist on that. That's
no aim assist at all. It makes it very hard for you. 15 seconds left, you're going to go through. You want to use your teammate here together. Let's see what you do. 10 seconds. You probably get this kill and get out. You don't need to challenge this. You can if you want, but I think right now you want to start rotating. Now, let's flip the script. Exact same scenario on the other side. Remember the last time it was P3? You were this player here. You were this player here, right? Do you remember?
Yeah, opposite side, yeah.
Yeah? This player here, look how this is good for you. You're thinking, oh, what an idiot. He's going to spawn back where he just came from, right? You're like, that was a waste of a play from him. Imagine that same player went through bar and cut through P1 to P3. That would have been more useful. So this is what I mean. You can use the enemies to see what you should be doing. You could say, oh, that wasn't a good play from him. Oh, so I shouldn't do that as well. Things like that. Big 2-piece from you. Right now, you need to be watching the bar. Look at the kill feed. The bar's empty. The bar's empty. The bar's empty. No one's there. I don't mind this play from you. It's a good read from you. And then again, just for me, there's no map control. In terms of as a team, there's no map control. We've got to push out a bit. But you're playing a lot better as a sub. You're getting more aggressive. Again, a little bit of a mechanical issue there. When you shoot, this was fine. Just with 7 bullets, you're always going to be cautious with a sub. Always got to be cautious with a sub. The rate of fire is too quick to do anything with 7 bullets, I think. Going through. 30 seconds again. Let's see what you do here. Honestly, I think a lot of this is just mechanical stuff in terms of like repeating and just getting that shot warm. Overall, like, you didn't play bad this game, but the score is just going out of hand because of a few like rotations from the team. Like even this hill here, this should have been such a money hill, but no one really cut the lanes effectively. Big 2. You're gonna get a 3, aren't you? Unlucky. Let's go to the last one. So that mid-game adjustment, I think again there was a few hills where I just think you guys just didn't play it as clean as you should. Oh, what's going on here?
Yeah, a simple mistake easily costed like 30 points. Exactly,
and then they add up there, right? Because like if that's, I think that was 2 or 3 times where you guys like lost a few hills, and then it's a 100-point game. It's completely different. So now you're going through, same thing. You want to cut through this middle lane here. Let's see how you play this. You're cutting through. Now I don't mind what you're doing here. The only problem I have is you want to have map control, and I think that's a big factor. Like a lot of these points where you're sitting, I don't mind it, but what you're doing is you're letting them come towards you. And this is such a big thing. If this player's sprinting, right? If this player's, let's say he's sprinting. Once he gets to this corner, he's going to be shouldering, using his equipment. It's going to be harder to kill him there than it will be over there. Because he's going to be sprinting, ready for the gunfight. So if you can, you want to be headglitching the top of this to catch him while he's sprinting. That's your goal. Catch them while they're sprinting. Because like I said, you're going to get stunned. This guy runs into you. He was sprinting. You go through. And there you go. So it's just about being a bit more, I mean, to be fair, again, you get traded, but it's just about being pushed out a little bit more. Because when you get flooded, they're just going to have so many opportunities to kill you. Repeating. They're just going to keep on having opportunities to kill you here. 15 seconds left. I like this rotation from you. You're trusting your team. This is really good. You're pushing through. Let's see how you play this. Okay. What did you do differently compared to the other times here? This is, you finally got back to your spot. I knew you were itching for this kill on this spot. All game you wanted to get a kill here. Now, what's the difference here compared to the other times?
Well, I caught them while they were sprinting. I was pushed up more, so.
You caught them while they were sprinting because you were pushed up for. That was the perfect answer. Yeah. You were going through. Now, even though you did that, you were not, it doesn't look like you're prepared for the gunfight. Look how your gun is. You're running. When you're going around these corners, you know they're going to be here. We need to be sliding. We need to be slide cancelling, aiming in, ready for these gunfights. You can't be sprinting here because you know they're going to be here. You're constantly around these corners. You've done it about 4 times now where you're running around these corners. Now, you caught this guy off guard, which is great. You caught both of them off guard. Isn't it easier to kill them while they're sprinting? You just got a 2-piece from that. So that should tell you, I don't want to get caught sprinting. This is how you can learn to put the pieces together, okay? You got caught sprinting, you die, you catch them sprinting, you get a 2-piece. It's simple, but it's very, very important. Great 2-piece, that's 4 down. This is great now. You're pushing out a little bit far. This is where it can get mixy because, you know, we don't know the spawns too much yet. And this is where it's like, okay, where are we going now? You see what I mean? This is like, right, what are we really doing here?
I'm wondering if they're spawning here still.
At this point, this guy you're killing, you didn't even need to come all the way here, to be honest. You didn't need to come all the way there. Like, I mean, you got the kill. It's not the end of the world, but it's just like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think you need to go there. But you just, that little 5-piece was completely different because you pushed the lanes properly. For the first time this game, you cut the lanes properly. Look what you're doing now. If you did this at the start, you would have won the game. You read the pressure. They're coming through your left. This is perfect. This is perfect from you. You know they're going to go through there. Let's watch this area there. Again, I just wanted to see you a bit more ready for the gunfight, because like I said, I knew they were going to be there. If I was that player there, I'm more ready for this gunfight, like right now. If I'm that player, I'm pre-aiming you there as I'm coming up the stairs. So against better players, I think you need to be more ready for the gunfights. You know they were coming through here. You knew they were coming through there. Great play. Turn around.
Slide.
100%. When you're sliding, 100%. When you're sliding and slide cancelling, it allows you to be ready. Now, what you've done in the last minute, if you did this the whole game, you would have fried them. You would have won the game easily. The last minute, you went on a tear. So it's nothing to do with gun skill. It's simply about cutting the lanes effectively. This was a really good play for you for the last minute or so. And you got a cruise from it. You're going through. Same thing. You know they're going to be in your left here. Let's see what you do. Now, look at the minimap. I was literally going to say, if you look at the minimap, who's got middle right now? No one. Who had middle 5 seconds ago? You did. So you've given up your own middle, expecting it to be covered. No one else is there. So if you're going to chuck a stun here, you have to watch middle because no one's covering middle right now. Look, you go through. Minimap awareness, that's the problem right there. Minimap awareness, right? You're going through, look at it, you hold it. You know they're coming through. You're like, forget middle, I'm all right. You leave it and he comes right behind you. Now you could say, oh, it's timing, but the problem is you created the timing for yourself by giving up middle. At this point, the game's too late.
Time I should have hit it.
Exactly.
The time I didn't.
At this point, the game's too late. But like, you look at your score and you could easily say, "Oh, you know, I got the most kills. My teammates didn't do well enough." But as somebody that was cutting the lanes a lot, and you got 10 seconds on the hill, that's fine because you're playing a different role. You're playing the lane of cutting lanes. I think you could have got another 10 kills that game, honestly, and also just push them out a bit more. I think you could have easily done that and just made the game closer, because I know it looks like, oh, 80-point difference, that's a lot. There was about 3 hills where I said I think you could have got another 20 seconds there. That's 60 seconds towards you, 60 seconds away from them. I think it's a completely different game if you get those hills there. And that's what Hardpoint's about. Those split-second decisions where you go left instead of right, where you jump off instead of staying there. When you die, the whole spawn flips, domino effect, you lose by 100 points. It's those split-second decisions that make all the difference. But YouTube, that's the boy Nectar. We'll talk about after the thing. I'll just end the recording, but we'll carry on. But YouTube, that's the boy Nectar. Make sure to show him some love, drop him a like, and drop a like on the video, and I'll catch you guys for another one tomorrow. Peace.